What's going on YouTube? Welcome back to the channel, welcome back to some more Warzone. So in this video I'm going to be talking about the MP5 and why I currently think it's the best gun in Warzone at the moment, and I'll be going over some class setups as well. So if you enjoyed the video, learned something new, please consider subscribing to the channel, and with that let's get straight into it. So currently, as it is in Warzone at the moment, everyone's kind of looking for the meta SMG weapons, and because they're so close at the moment, it's kind of hard to pick which weapon is better. I was using the LC10 for a period of time, but I was still losing a lot of gunfights, and I kind of wanted to find another weapon that had a faster TTK, that also had good mobility, and then I kind of decided to give the Cold War MP5 another go. I did try it when it was ground loot in Warzone, and I just thought the recoil on it was absolutely ridiculous in comparison to the Modern Warfare MP5. So to be honest with you, I didn't even rank up the weapon, and I just kind of completely bypassed it and went on to other Cold War weapons like the MAC-10, which obviously for mobility is the king of all the SMGs because you can move so quickly around the map. The only issue with the MAC-10 is it only has a 53 round mag, and the rate of fire on it is over 1,000, which is just absolutely crazy. So if you kind of get into, you know, a gunfight in quads or in trios, you end up having to reload the gun an awful lot, and you can end up losing gunfights. Unless you're using the knives to kind of finish people off, you're kind of really, you know, going to struggle with the mag size. So I kind of wanted to find another gun out there, and like I said, I came across the Cold War MP5, and it has the fastest TTK out of all the SMGs at 492. The one that comes second is the Fennec, but to be honest with you, the mag size is only 40, so, you know, like you literally can only play with that in solos. You can't play with that in duos, trios or quads. So unless you're using the slight hand perk, and it just really, you know, the mobility on it is nowhere near as good as the Cold War MP5. A lot of people are kind of gravitating towards the PPSH, and I do feel like it is a good weapon, but its first TTK is 531. And I want to be able to, you know, as soon as I see somebody, I want to be able to get shots on them and get them down as quickly as possible. And I'm kind of noticing that the MP5 Cold War is doing that so much better than the LC10 or the PPSH or the Bullfrog. I feel like the Bullfrog has a bit of a funny aim down sight, and if they drop shot you, you then kind of lose the target and end up losing the gunfight. Same as with the LC10. I am noticing that with the MP5, I'm winning a lot more gunfights. So that's why I'm kind of choosing that one over the other weapons. I feel like you guys should give it a go. Tell me what you think in the comments. What guns are you currently using at the moment? Have you given the Cold War MP5 a go? And what I noticed was when you put on the combat stock, it's actually pretty good, and the actual recoil on this MP5 isn't actually that bad, especially if you're taking people out sort of 5 or 10 or 15 meters. But I would recommend not using the Task Force barrel and maybe go ahead with the reinforced heavy, and I'll go into the loadout that I'm currently using at the moment. So this is the current loadout that I'm using. I'm using the sound suppressor over the agency suppressor because of the aim down sight benefits in comparison to the agency suppressor. It massively affects that. So, you know, you want to be able to aim down sight as quickly as possible with an SMG. So I'm using the sound suppression. You still get bullet velocity and sprint to fire speed as well. And the agency suppressor, you lose aiming stability. You do have effective damage range, but to be honest with you, I'm using the reinforced heavy over the Task Force purely because you get effective damage range and bullet velocity. And if you use the Task Force, you're going to notice a difference in the recoil. So if you are wanting to hit people above sort of 15 meters, 20 meters, you are really going to want to use the reinforced heavy unless you're using a Cronus Max or you're really good at controlling the recoil. I'm not one of them people, so I'm sticking with the reinforced heavy. I'm using the Tiger Team Spotlight purely because of the movement speed, and you can move so much quicker with having the Tiger Team Spotlight. I have tried out the 5mm laser for the hip fire accuracy, but to be honest with you, I much prefer the mobility, because as soon as you get up close, it really doesn't make much difference anyway. And then I'm using the SAS combat stock purely because overall, in comparison to the Raider stock, it gives you better mobility. The Raider stock is kind of good for sprint to fire, but to be honest, I'm not bothered about that as much. I want to be able to, while I'm aimed down sight, I want to be able to move as quickly as possible. And then I'm using the Stanag 50 round drum mag. That seems to be what everyone's using at the moment, and it does penalise you on the aim down sight time a little bit, but obviously you need as many bullets as possible, especially you're going to be playing in squads. So this is the current loadout that I'm using. If you guys enjoyed the video, please consider subscribing to the channel and give it a thumbs up. You guys will be really helping me out if you can do that, and it really helps with YouTube's algorithm. I really appreciate all of your support, coming up on 5k subscribers, and can't be here without you guys. So anyway, take care, stay blessed.